Hello class, welcome to lesson 5, graphing inequalities. Make sure you get a piece of paper, that you're copying this down for notes because you're turning it in tomorrow. Alright, let's start with some review. Let's graph the following numbers. X equals 4. Well, to graph that, you would just go ahead and draw a dot on a number line at the 4. So here's the 4, so you'd make a dot on the 4 right here. Okay, you can pause the video. Go ahead and try graphing y equal to -2 and z equal to -1 on that same number line. Welcome back. Y equaling -2. You would have had the point right there. There's y. Z equal to 1. You fill in a point right here. That's z equal to 1. And this one was x. Okay. Well, let's say we have an inequality. Let's say w is greater than 3. And I apologize, that's a mistake. Ignore that thing for right now. That was just an arrow. W is greater than 3. So you could start and ask questions like, well, okay, what numbers are greater than 3? Some numbers that are greater than 3, w could equal 4, it can equal 5, it can equal 6, it can equal 7. Can it equal 3 though? No, it cannot equal 3 because it has to be greater than 3. Now, if you think of it as money, think of it as like $3. If it's greater than 3, one possible answer, it could be 3.01 because $3.01, it is greater than 3. So what we're going to do to graph this is if w is greater than 3, you kind of go to the 3 here, and I'm going to put a circle since it said 3, but it actually cannot be the 3. So I'm going to leave that circle open. I am not going to fill it in. However, w could be 3.01, which is about here. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6. It actually can be any of the numbers or decimals on this line. So to graph w greater than 3, we have this open circle at 3, because it cannot equal 3, but it can equal anything greater. And so if you look in textbooks, what it does is it draws an arrow and it kind of thickens that line so you can tell which one it is. The way I'm going to be drawing it is, here's your number line, here's the number 3. You would draw an open circle and the arrow goes to the right. So we're just going to draw a little arrow up above it to the right, but kind of connect it to the circle. So see, it goes up and then to the right. That way you can still see the number line, but you would see the arrow as well. Okay? All right, so to graph an inequality, step 1 is to make a circle at the number. Okay. Step 2, if it is less than or greater than, leave it open. So it'll look like this. If it is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then you will close it. And what that means is when you have your circle to close it, it means you fill it in. So that's an open circle, that is a closed circle. Okay? These are open circles. These ones are closed circles because it can equal -2. It does equal 1. Okay? And number 3 is draw an arrow in the correct direction. Okay. Let's go ahead and try example number 1. A is greater than 5. Step 1, make a circle at the number. The number is 5. So here's 5. I'm going to make a circle on the 5. Okay. Step 2, if it's less than or greater than, you leave it open. In my case here, it's a greater than, so I'm going to leave it open because it cannot equal 5. It has to be greater than 5. Step 3, draw an arrow in the correct direction. It has to be greater than 5, which means the arrow will be going this direction on the number line. Okay. One way to kind of think of this is if your variable's on the left, see how A was greater than 5? So it means from 5, the arrow will go that direction. See how it's to the right? To the right? So you could do it that way. The problem is, this is the exact same thing. A is greater than 5 means that 5 is also less than A, right? Those are the same. So if your variable is on the right, this doesn't work because you make your circle at 5. This is saying 5 is less than whatever A is, which means A has to be bigger than it. So only if your variable is on the left does that work. Okay. If you want, you can go ahead and pause here and try the next 3 and see if you get them correct. You can come back and check your answers. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and go over the answers. Example 2, b is less than -2. Step 1, make a circle at -2. Step 2, if it's less than or greater than, leave it open. If it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, you're going to close it because it has that equals part. So if it has an equals, you close it. No equal sign, so we leave it open. It is less than -2, which means it's -2 or anything smaller. So the arrow will go this direction. Okay. Example 3, c is greater than or equal to -1. So we make a circle at -1. It's greater than or equal to it, which means we need to have a closed circle. It's greater than or equal to -1, meaning the arrow will go this direction. Okay. And lastly, letter D is less than or equal to 3. You make your circle at 3. It's less than or equal to it. Since it can be equal to 3, we need to fill in the circle. And it's numbers that are less than 3, so we need the arrow to go this direction, less than 3. Okay. What might help as a reference is each of these you can also write backwards. This is the same thing as -2 is greater than B. -1 is less than or equal to C. And 3 is greater than or equal to D. Okay? Those are all the equivalent ways to write it. That way, when you see them on the homework, if you want to compare it to which direction the arrow goes, these are all equal. So both of those, that's what the graph looks like. Okay? All right, your homework is homework number 5, and it is in Alex for you to do today.